Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Secrets in the shadows, lost and found. Truth in every echo, loud and clear. Keep on with the long road, no more fear. In the halls of power, whispers grow. Every secret cut beneath the undertone. Honest stories hidden in the dust. On this long road, in the truth we trust.
Welcome to the long road. I'm really glad to be back. We wish the Fact TV had to close down for a little while to do some upgrades, and so far, as you see with the opening, they did a lot of work, and I appreciate the time and effort they put forth. I do the research on a lot of stuff, but it's up to them. They make me look better the way they present this, and I'm really appreciative of it. And I'm really appreciative of the fact that Fact TV here is in Keene, giving us a little opportunity to discuss things. Okay? I'm going to tell you, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm a registered independent. I do not have anybody think for me. I don't have anybody tell me what to do. I don't make money off the show, and I don't try to impress anybody. What I do is I try to get as much information out as possible and let you think. You gather that information. You think, you process it. Some of that information you may say, hey, that's totally BS. Kris is wrong. I accept that. Other people say, yeah, this information is correct. I didn't think about that. I accept that. I will never think for anybody. I have one brain, and I'm doing my best to keep that brain moving, and I am not going to think for anybody. I may say things that may tick off some people. Hey, I'm here to represent the facts. But here's one thing about facts. What is factual to me may not be factual to someone else. And likewise, also, I may give what I deem to be a fact right now, but all of a sudden there's additional information, and then what was considered a fact is no longer a fact. Just because something is factual now doesn't mean it will be factual forever. So with information, it's like science. A lot of things that we thought were the way it is, as we go along, as we do more research, the scientists are finding things that were true are no longer true. So that's with today's facts. What could be factual today may not be factual next month. So if you have it in your head, you got to keep your mind open that things could change as you gather more information. Okay, as we all know, former President Trump beat Vice President Harris in the election. Why? People forget, and I don't think all the people forgot. When Harris was running for president, she did extremely bad. She was not liked by very many people in the United States. She had a lot of baggage. For example, she put a lot of black men in California in prison for smoking marijuana or marijuana possession and things like that. So she had to drop out of the presidential primary really quick. Joe Biden didn't do too well in the Iowa caucus. He did really bad in the New Hampshire primary. For all intents and purposes, Biden was done. So Biden talks to a representative down from South Carolina, where the next election was going to be. The representative from South Carolina says, "Hey, Joe, I can deliver South Carolina for you, but you got to do two things. You got to pick a black woman for vice president, and you got to put a black woman on the Supreme Court." Well, Joe Biden wanted to be president so bad. He had failed twice, so he cut that deal. And Joe Biden overwhelmingly won South Carolina. And he was back on track, and he was able to get the nomination. So there was like about 10 women, 10 black women that had outstanding records, outstanding leadership abilities, experience. So Joe Biden decides to pick the one that they weren't really considering, and says, who can we pick that would never be a threat to us? Oh, Kamala. I hope I pronounced the name wrong, correct, so people don't say you're disrespecting her if I'm mispronouncing her name. So he picks Kamala Harris as his running mate. Okay? So he gets elected. He then decides, there's an opening on the Supreme Court. Again, there was a big list of highly qualified people. But he goes, I cut a deal and I need to put a black woman on the Supreme Court. Well, the woman he put on the Supreme Court was not the woman of choice by the senator from South Carolina. You know, you politics, you cut deals, you could change your mind. I've already got what I want. I want to be president. I'm now president, and this is what I'll do. And bingo. He's president, what he always wanted to do, and then you have Harris as vice president, and no one could think, no big deal. She's not a threat at all. But as we've come to know now, Mr. Biden had age-related mental issues. He wasn't just stuttering, it was what's worse. And so when you have power, a lot of people do not want to give up power. A lot of the people around Joe Biden enjoyed having that power. So they protected Joe Biden, didn't allow him to go out very much. And also, if he went out, it was pretty well staged. No press conferences. And in some cases, it found out that certain press people were giving questions to ask Joe Biden that Joe Biden had on his piece of paper the answer. Well, the people that were going, Joe Biden went out for the debate with Donald Trump. He did horrible. Totally horrible. He was like out there with the emperor with no clothes on. They put him out because they had to put him out. They put him in a friendly situation and hope it would work. Well, it didn't work. It was a total embarrassment. Okay? But before that debate, Biden went back on his word. Biden said that he was going to be the transition point from the old Democrats like him, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, people that had been around for a long, long time. Like Biden has basically almost been someplace in Washington for over 50 years. And he goes, yep. Well, Biden, the people around him and everything, well, you know what? We like this. We're managing Joe really well. So they set it up that Iowa didn't count. New Hampshire didn't count on its primary, and says South Carolina is going to be the first primary. They set up the primaries so there was no way Joe could lose. So it was a rigged game. They put Joe in. Then Joe embarrassed himself on the debate. So what do we do now? We can't put Joe out for another debate, and we didn't have a primary. And so what are we going to do? So in a perfect Shakespearean tragedy, or especially like Macbeth, or a Machiavellian move, the person he least suspected to stab him in the back was Kamala Harris. People goes, oh, no. Kamala Harris already had a team in place. Kamala Harris had it all set to raise the money and everything. All it took was for Joe to write the letter, I can't go on. And bingo, she was out there pulling in money like crazy, getting all these actors, Taylor Fish, George Clooney, all of them out there supporting Kamala. So much, she raised over $1 billion in a short period of time. Okay? And she wasn't ready. They had protected her. They were doing their best to protect her for saying something that people go, what the hell was that? They were protecting her from Joe Biden moments. And it caught up. So I think, okay, we're going to give a whole bunch of money. I can't remember which country it did, but at the same time, we're not doing very well for the people in North Carolina and some of the other places. Really stupid move, dumb optics. Then you had Obama going out saying, hey, brothers, if you can't vote for the sister, you're not really one of us. You can't handle a woman telling you what to do. That's the only reason why you're not going to vote for a sister. Well, they started insulting a lot of people. And so Donald Trump won. By the Electoral College, it was a butt whipping. Total votes, Donald Trump got more than he had last time. Kamala Harris got a lot of votes, but I think the total number of votes, there was, I haven't seen the last official count, total number of votes weren't as much as a lot with Biden and Trump ran. Did Trump kick butt? No. But Trump was out there working to get more people to the polls. I saw people in the polls in Keene, and I'm going, no, no, and no. They made a big mistake. Trump's people were going out getting people that never voted before. The Harris people were trying to just make sure the people who normally voted come out. And Trump's team did a really good thing in a lot of the swing states. They didn't win by much, but they won. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 vote or 10 million votes. They did what they were supposed to do, and they won. Okay? Harris did a lot of things that caused self-inflicted defeat. Harris counted on, all these black women, all the black men are going to vote for me because I'm black. Well, Harris swings back and forth, being black, being Indian, being a woman of color. You had to pick a stance. Harris, what are you going to do when you become president if you become president? I'm going to do the same thing Joe Biden is. She couldn't make a decision. She couldn't make commitments. She was afraid of offending people. And so she lost. People, it's one of these things. If I have a choice with someone I don't like or someone I disagree with, but makes decisions, and I have someone I like, but comes across wishy-washy or comes across as can't make a decision, the majority of the people are going to go with the person that can make a decision because they say, wait a minute, maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe she will change his mind. Maybe we can convince him to change his mind. This wishy-washy person, what am I going to do? He's too wishy-washy. She's too wishy. How can I change his mind if they can't make a decision? We've all had people that was our supervisor or boss or whatever, or in leadership positions, who couldn't make a decision. And we all know how frustrating that is, being around someone who can't make a decision. Part of being a leader is able to make decisions, able to make informed decisions, able to take all this information, put it together, process it, and say, yep, this is what I'm going to do. She couldn't do it. And so Mr. Trump won the election. Mrs. Harris, and Mr. Walsh, who embellished things here left and right and got caught. Oh, I did this with a rifle. I was overseas. But oh, no, I was in the Greek islands. But he was a plain, boring guy. Because what happens is because Mrs. Harris played the Shakespearean tragedy more like Macbeth. So she wanted someone just like Joe did. I must pick a person that could never, ever be a threat to me. And some unknown governor who is more, it's just exciting. I can be the candidate for vice president. It looks like she's going to win. couldn't do anything for Harris. Big thing about him was, which bathroom did people get to use? And did I carry an M16 or not? Where did I sit? So that's what we have, United States. The election is over, and the Republicans, they've got 53 people in the Senate. The Republicans had more people in the House, but probably without thinking too much, President-elect Trump has favors he has to return to, so he's been appointing congressmen and congresswomen to positions in his cabinet. Well, unlike senators, state representatives, they don't get filled. They have to the governor has to call a special election. And so that could be 6 to 8 months out. And so now, two things I've been hearing on talk radio over and over again and all this stuff. Yes, the president is going to have mass deportation of anybody here who came to the United States illegally, families too. That's at least 11 million people. At least. There's many more that are here in the United States, came to the United States without even being caught or noticed, and quickly slide into the community. I don't care if you're Ukrainian, you're Nicaraguan, you're Colombian, you're Afghanistan, you're Congolese, wherever, England, Ireland, people can come in. They find ways to come in. They pay people to get them. And where do they go? They go to cities who have like communities. Just like the old days when people came through Ellis Island, I'm going to go to Boston. Or, no, I'm Polish, so I'm going to go to Chicago where there's a big Polish community, and I'm just going to sneak right into that community, come part of that community, and people will never question anything. I'll get married, I'll have kids, the whole works. So, if we're talking 11 million, are we talking about 11 million that's come in the past 4 to 5 years? Well, some people say 11 million have come in because there's a lot of undocumented people that got in that were never caught and registered. And so the people coming from the northern border, the southern border, people fly in, a whole bunch of ways. Okay. 11 million. But here's a couple of catches. Well, the president wants to end birthright citizenship. Okay. But there's a little caveat in American law. You can't pass a retro law. If Congress passes it and goes to the president and signs it, that birthright citizenship is no longer provided in the United States. First, it would get appealed, and then it would have to go to the Supreme Court to make a decision, and the Supreme Court may go one way or the other. But if the president goes and signs it as of 15 March 2025, anybody born of an illegal or a migrant or whatever you want to call them is born, they will not be granted American citizenship. But you can't go back. So if you end birthright, you can't go back. And they're talking about, well, I'm going to send the whole family back. You can't do that. If my mom is here illegal, my father here is illegal, and myself and my 2 brothers and 2 sisters were born in the United States, we're citizens. We're American citizens. So you can't take us, uproot us, and send us to another country. Just because my mom and dad are illegals, yes, you have the authority to pick them up, send them to Mexico or Colombia or wherever they came from, or even to a third world country that's taking them. Just like Great Britain is sending people illegals to Africa to get them out of Great Britain. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do. Great Britain's often also offering people money to go. But the problem comes in, what do you do with the 5 American citizens? And it's like, well, they're small. They have to go back with their mother and father. So, okay. I'm 16 years old, 14, 13, 12. We're sent back to Mexico. 2 years from now, I'm 18. I go to the border and say, yep, I'm coming back home, and I'm taking my 4 younger siblings, and I'm 18 of age, and I'm going to be taking care of them. Hey, well, what do you do then? You can't stop American citizens becoming home because I'm not a terrorist. I haven't committed any law. I can't be held responsible for my parents. They may have broken the law. They did break the law becoming here illegally. But like I said, I was born in the United States. Here's my birth certificate. Here's my social security card. So, hey, or we're going to say, yeah, we'll be able to go to schools and round up kids. You can only round up kids that were not born in the United States. Could you picture, oh, there it is, ICE taking American citizens, American kids, put them in a detention camp ready to deport them to another country? No. I don't care how much you hate illegal immigrants or whatever. That would be totally inhuman and ethically and morally wrong to go and take you American citizens and say, we're evicting you from this country because your mom and pop came in here illegally. I don't see how that happens. I don't see how you can pass a constitutional law saying that you're going to evict American citizen children of illegal migrants. Other part. I had talked on some of the other shows when I go looking at this. The reason this illegal migrant was coming in at such a rate was because both sides wanted it, but both sides were arguing, doing a parade like a bunch of peacocks in front of the people, where the donors that were given to their campaigns were benefiting from it. And you go, how can they benefit from it? Simple. Okay. Even here in the city of Keene, there are illegal migrants working under the table or working who had the they request an amnesty, and that they got the ability to work. They're working under really low wages because migrants, illegals, increase the profit line. They're here. And the question is, who's illegal? Who's a refugee? Do you know? If you went downtown and you saw a lot of people, that, especially that weren't, by the way they talk or the way they dress, they're going, oh, no, they're not from here. How would you know if you had 3 women from Panama standing in front of you? How would you know if any of them were illegals or not? One could be a wife of an American soldier. Oops. One could be, came here as a refugee because she had been sexually assaulted a bunch of times in Panama. So here's the part. Is our government going to go and say, hey, every single American is going to have to get a national ID card where we can be tracked? And if you do not have that national ID card, when you're picked up, you're going to be deported. You're going to go into a detention camp until we find where we're going to deport you to. The biggest thing with conservatives is that the United States government is overreaching. It's tracking us. But the only way you're going to know who's American citizen, who's illegal, say, okay, if you're an American citizen, we're going to give you a blue card that you can keep on your phone or keep with you. Okay, if you're a refugee and allowed in the United States, we're going to give you a red card. If you're one that fall under the special exemption, like for Haiti or Venezuela or all, which allows you to stay in the United States for 3 years, we're going to give you a yellow card. And each group would have a card. The only people that would not have a card are illegals. So if he's going to have, he says, I'm willing, it's an invasion, I'm going to have soldiers, I'm going to have more border patrol and stuff. Does that mean a soldier can come to my house and say, show me your identification card, your identification number? Go to my wife. Okay, you guys get the blue card, no problem at all. America does not want a national ID card. America wants, okay, if I save up $10,000 and I just say, screw it, I quit my job, I want to disappear, and I got the money, I'm not going to use credit cards, I'm not going to use a cell phone. If I do, I'll do a burner, and just disappear. The last time I heard it says about 42,000 people every year just disappear. Not because of crime or anything. They said, no, I had enough. I want to disappear. Hey, I want to live in a little shack up in northern New Hampshire. I want to live in a place in Wyoming or Utah, Montana. where no one bothers me. Hey, maybe I'll go hunt and get my own stuff. Or maybe I'll go find a job in the summer working on a farm or a ranch or whatever. Maybe I'll go shovel crap out of I'm hiding up in Minnesota, Wisconsin. I'll shovel cow crap out of the thing so I can get some money, get enough money, and I disappear again. People in the United States have the right to do that. But if we have a national ID card to prove that we're citizens, and it has like the card that, can't even think of it. You got to get the pass or get it on your ID card to show, oh, yep, you can go to Canada now because you got the right card. Without the right card in 2025, you cannot get on an airplane. You can't get on Amtrak. You can't get on a bus. And in some places, you can't even get on a cruise ship. You have to have this special card, government issued, verified card. That's the closest we're getting to a national ID card, but that doesn't work because a lot of states allow aliens, immigrants, unlawful immigrants, illegals, migrants to get driver's licenses. Not Chicago, but I'm not sure, but Massachusetts, New York, California, you can get driver's licenses. You don't have to prove that you're a citizen. So are we going to set up a national ID card? So if you know what? Oh, I know you're Mr. Roberts, but you look like you're really from Central America. Prove it to me you're a U.S. citizen. Take your card out. I go, no. So if I don't have a card, I refuse to carry the card, and I say no, do I get put in a detention camp and hopefully I can prove that I'm an American citizen? What happens if there's mistakes? And guy goes, oh, no, bingo. He's going to Africa, he's going back to Colombia, he's going back to Brazil. Oh. Well, because I spent almost 6 months in Panama doing a job. I was in the Marine Corps, and I go, wow, all these Panamanians, they look like me. We have the same complexion, the whole works and stuff. How are you going to judge complexion, height, your weight, your speech, all the things that we in the United States, under our civil rights, are protected, all could be violated with the possibility of being deported when you are an American citizen or you're here legally. So there is no effective way to round up 11 million plus, quote, illegals unless you have the ability to identify all American citizens and anybody that's allowed in the country legally. So we can talk about, oh yeah, get rid of them. Food has been getting pretty expensive over the last 3, 4, 5 years. Well, the president-elect saying, well, we're going to reduce the cost of food. Farmers, mostly Republicans, saying, well, you can't do that, Mr. President, because a large number of our workers are illegal. We know they're illegal. But if we don't hire them, we're going to have to pay legal people more money. And the cost of food is going up. Well, the construction company goes, hey, Mr. President, you can't get rid of these guys. We need them to build houses. I pay them under the table so I can make more profit. Hey, I can save $50,000 a house by using this illegal labor than they're using Americans. And guess what? I don't pass that profit on to the people who buy the house. It all goes into my pocket. Hey, look around Keene. Haven't you seen a crew that comes in from Massachusetts? You got a woman and about 6 or 7. They come in. They strip down your roof. And usually in one day, they've completely stripped your roof, repaired your roof, and put a brand new roof on, and they disappear. So you got people saying, get rid of those illegals. But wait a minute. You just used those illegals to save $5,000 on your roof. But that's different. Get rid of them. Okay. Hey, who do you think works in the slaughterhouses? Both on beef, pig, chicken. Hey, we get some pretty good prices on those foods. Okay, let's get rid of them, all of them. President Trump, when President Trump was president, they did a number of raids on slaughterhousing, packing housing to get out the illegals. Okay, businesses know they're illegal. They don't care because it makes them money. And I think it was last year I was on one of the shows and I was talking about, we had it, I think it was in the New York or Atlantic magazine. The girl comes in, she's 16 years old. She goes, so they send her to a place run by one of the religious groups in California. That religious group gets paid for taking care of her. Then they get a ticket for her that flies her to Alabama. She's in Alabama. She got to report to the school because she's only 16. And she tells the school, I'm 16, but I'm not going to school. Then she says, her and her sister go see a lawyer, an American lawyer, American citizen, pays the lawyer $1,500. What they do for $1,500? She gets a Social Security card and she had a Alabama driver's license. No test, no nothing. Then she goes, the girl takes her, happens to be related to, takes her to the employment agency in there, and they get a job working in the chicken processor. Okay? The lawyer benefited off dealing with an illegal alien. The chicken guys benefit from working, and they go, hey, she had a Social Security number card and she had a driver's license. So as far as we're concerned, that's all we need for her to work. Because she's got to be American citizen, she's got both of these. The lawyer knows it's bogus. The Catholic charity knew it was bogus. The religious charity knew it was bogus. The meat packing plant processor knew it was bogus. all three of those entities, even the airline, so from the time she was placed, they made money. The airline ticket made money. The lawyer made money. Going to get the job, they paid a little bonus and they got money. Okay? 4 steps in the illegal alien to cross the border around the California area, get to Alabama and get the job and get to move in with the community of migrants. Okay? Go to Manchester. Look at all the Brazilians. Why are they coming to Manchester? Because there's job opportunities in Manchester. You may be stuck being a janitor or a hostess or these little different things, but it's safer and you're making more money here. Whether we want to admit it, we have brokers here in the United States with Chinese workers, with Brazilian workers, with Mexican workers, El Salvadorians. They'll go, business guy says, hey, I need 30 of these people. And the guy goes out to his guy, oh, hey, I need 30 Brazilians, so the guy spends 35. Some are going to get lost along the way. Hey, haven't you heard at times the Chinese? Hey, I need a bunch of workers. Okay? Some of them been put in with 40-foot containers, locked. Here's a place to go pee. Here's a place to go crap. Here's a little bit of food. You come into the container, gets offloaded, and they're fanned out to different Chinese restaurants, buffets, and everything. And then they have to work, and they have to pay off their loan with interest. Hey, if it takes $15,000 to go from Brazil to Manchester, they don't have $15,000. They got to work that $15,000 off. Okay? Massage parlors. Where do you think most of those girls come from? Women. They don't say grow up in the United States and say, you know what? I'm American citizen. I'm growing up in my dream job is to go work in a massage parlor. No. And so we have a lot of the immigrants that buy their way in and giving jobs, working under the table, living under miserable conditions, often eating leftovers or what? Because there's brokers to get people in. There's human traffickers. There's ones that take advantage of some of these young women, young girls, and turn them into prostitutes and use them and then cast them away. Okay? If we want to send the illegal immigrants back where they came from, we can't pick and choose. We can't say, hey, I go to that massage parlor every other week, but leave my masseuse alone and send those people away. I go and get my nails done once a week. Don't touch her, but send those other immigrants away. I like my vegetables cheap. Send those other immigrants away. I need these to build a house, but send all them away. So, are we going to pick and choose? It's like, hey, Mr. Trump, we donated so much money to your campaign and everything, but you better not get rid of all these people that are working on my farm. Okay? There's been articles about Vermont dairy, and they've come out and said, we can't afford to run a dairy without illegal workers. They know they're illegal. They know they're paying them less. They know the conditions may not be safe. But illegal, here's the part that is not always correct. To a lot of people and businesses, every illegal has a value. And they look at it this way: how can I draw the maximum value out of that individual, increasing my profits without having to take care of that person? Hey, for example, if I don't pay if we're doing illegal Y, paying $1,000 a month, okay, I don't have to pay $80 for Social Security and all that kind of stuff. And I keep them under the table so I don't have to pay workman's comp. Hey, bingo. There's a whole bunch of things. I don't have to pay into retirement and everything when I don't need him anymore, or he costs me more money than what I can make. I get rid of him. I replace him or her. So, yes, I'll tell you, I do not support illegal immigration. I do not support it because people get used and abused. People get stuck in the sex industry and stuff. But if you're going to do it, it has to be done in a certain way, a humane way, and no American citizen, child, or whatever will be forced to leave the country of their birth, the country of their citizenship. And no, we do not get a national ID card that we carry along to prove that we are American citizens. I do not want the government to have the ability to track me anywhere I go. I should have the right to put up my iPhone and take my Apple Watch off and be free from being tracked. Okay? And the other thing, both Democrats and Republicans have to stop being hypocritical. They know their donors are making billions of dollars off these illegal immigrants. They know that many of these billion-dollar owners and companies really go put out and say, hey, I need this many illegals working for me. Because the illegals do not come here unless there's an opportunity for them to take care of their family, to earn a job, to be in a safe place, a better place when they're leaving. All we have to do is look at recessions. When there's recessions and downturns in the United States, illegal immigration goes down, and even the outflow of illegals back to their country goes up. So they're here because there's a demand for an economic demand for them that industries can make greater profit for. And you go, no, that can't happen. That isn't happen. Kris Roberts, that's bull crap. That is not happening. Hey, I have no problem with your opinion. Okay? I would love for you to fact check everything I say. And if I'm wrong, it'd be great for you to tell me, hey, Kris, you're wrong. But if you can't say, Kris, this is the reason you're wrong, I'm not going to listen to you. You can say, yeah, you're wrong. But if you're just saying I'm wrong, it's because you just feel I'm wrong. You never fact checked me. You never researched it. Part of doing this is to help you self-educate yourself. Again, you don't need a school to tell you how to think. You don't need college to tell you how to think. You don't need a job to tell you how to think. You got to think for yourself. You have to go and say, is this right? Is this wrong? You got to do it. You can no longer be a lamb being led to slaughter. You can't be a lemon who's going off the cliff because everybody's going off the cliff. You can't be that thing. Why are you doing it? Because everybody's doing it. Do not be an everybody. Be an individual free thinker. Read and question more and more. Be an individual. Be a free thinker. And that's going to be my show for today. And I appreciate you listening to what I had to say. And again, if I'm wrong, tell me why I'm wrong. And I am more than happy to change my opinion. I'm more than happy to say, sorry, I was wrong. And you know what? The world would be a heck of a lot better if people learn to think for themselves, do their research, get this bias, because in the end, the Democrats are not going to help you. The Republicans are not going to help you because they view us as peons. The elections are over. They do not need us until the next election. So thank you and have a good day.